companies around the world are facing a slump in demand, and India is no exception. Sales are down, and many manufacturers have decided to cut production to avoid further losses. But as Mr.Nirmal reports from Chennai, it's not just the major brands that are suffering. Hundreds of firms that supply these companies are also feeling the squeeze.
It's another normal day of work for these employees of GS Bodybuilders. This 33-year-old company, which specializes in putting together buses and trucks, is right now worried about its immediate future. That's because the economic slowdown has badly affected India's auto companies, some of which have even decided to cut down production. It's a move that directly impacts companies like GS Bodybuilders, who depend on these big vehicle manufacturers for their livelihood.
Now everything is in high peak situation for the past 2 years, and we have been developed our infrastructure and everything. But this situation, it's immediately it's going to fall, and it will directly impact on our labors. So first thing is labor, and next thing is our credentials, our liabilities.
The auto industry on the whole is feeling the heat, with total vehicle sales down by about 14% this year. Customers here seem to be in no mood to spend money on new cars and bikes. But it's the commercial vehicle sector that is the worst hit, with sales down by about 36% in comparison to last year.
So sales are down as customers are not buying due to the lack of credit clubbed with high interest rates. That's why two of the country's biggest vehicle makers have decided to cut down on production. It's a move that's definitely worried the country's auto component manufacturers.
J.S. Chopra, president of the association representing vehicle part makers from across the country, predicts tough times ahead for this $18 billion industry.
Because liquidity crunch, Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3 all are affected. Because raw material keeps on flowing in as per earlier schedule, and sudden drop in cutback means that there's a build-up of inventory. So liquidity crunch will also affect the capability of the suppliers. There would be, obviously, not immediately but near future, there could be a possibility of huge losses in jobs, and that we'll have to see as we go along.
But at Devendra Exports, a mid-sized firm that specializes in diesel fuel injection parts, this downturn is being seen as the time to improve efficiency. The company supplies parts to many of India's leading vehicle manufacturers and in turn buys some components from smaller players, many of whom will be unable to survive the slowdown on their own.
We are and also would be very much interested in looking at acquisitions at that level, which would add value to us. Besides that, we would also be diversifying into the non-automotive sector, so that we try our best to make sure that we are at least a bit recession-proofed at this time.
The next 6 months are going to be very tough for this sector. If this slump continues, then many employees are likely to lose their jobs. Several small auto part makers may also close down. The only thing the industry is hoping for right now is for credit to become available easily so that customers come back into the market.